Warning, this podcast contains profanity, uncomfortable topics, and opinions of two weird gentlemen that are not suitable for children or sensitive listeners. Your mama's so fat, she gave me a quarter, and then, I don't remember how it goes. Shit.
Welcome to another episode of Can and Cap. This is Digital Gore, Eric Alanis. I'm here with my co-host, Sink Beasting, and we are going to just tear this shit up.
Yeah, tear it faster than you can say Coachella Fest.
I was going to go Spanish and be like, ay, wey.
Oh, God, no, I don't want to talk about those days. I tore a lot of shit up those days, but god damn, that shit hurt. Anyway, that was a horrible intro. Let's go ahead and continue. So, hey guys, welcome. We are on our third episode, and today we decided we're going to talk about some dirty-ass stuff. The nastiest things you can ever think about. Do you know what's the dirtiest thing that comes to mind, Eric?
There's a lot of dirty shit that comes to mind, but I think I know what you're talking about, Buzz. And honestly, for our sensitive listeners, I probably wouldn't listen to this episode if you're very religious, because it's some nasty shit we're going to talk about.
If you're just a wholesome person, you probably don't even want to know who we are, because right now it's about to get down, nasty, filthy, and just downright ugly.
General warts everywhere.
I'm talking about STDs up in the NPDs and the HIVs are. The list can go on. It's dirty. So I hope you guys are ready.
You're gonna need some antibiotics after this episode for sure.
All right, so guys, here we go. You ready to tell our audience what the topic is?
I'm down. I'm ready.
All right, guys. Episode 3. We're talking about Disney movies, DreamWorks, and Sony motherfucking pictures.
Oh my God, it's so nasty.
I can't handle it, dude. I feel so... I think I'm about to throw up. I just can't handle it. For those of you who know, it's been a while since we did a episode, actually.
It has been. It's been about, what, like 2 weeks, maybe?
Yeah.
Somewhere around that ballpark?
So before we jump into the dirty things, I just wanted to point that out. So if we feel weird or we sound weird, it's because a lot has happened in our lives for 2 weeks. I accidentally went to the circus. Elephant stepped on my wiener and it just extended. So now I have to deal with the whole fact that I have extra weight down in the trunk, if you know what I mean. And I ain't talking about the elephant's trunk. So freaky deaky things happen now and then. So we just wanted to point that out. And as for you, Eric, what's been going on for the past 2 weeks or so?
Man, so much bullshit. It's not even funny. Like, I've just been traveling around. I'm basically a vigilante right now. I didn't even say that right. Vigilante. There
it is a difficult word to say.
It is.
I don't know if our listeners know how to say that.
See, I can't even say it again.
Vegemites. Okay, cool. I did it close enough. The only V word that shouldn't matter.
I know, right? The
Vegetables,
only one.
Forget about that.
Horrible.
Oh, God. We are horrible people. So, Disney, man. Disney raised us since we were just little tykes, and it's come a long way. I mean, Disney was... Obviously, we think of wholesome, but the reason why we wanted to bring about why it was so nasty is because, are you aware of the controversies with Disney?
Oh man, there's so many. Like, and I probably don't even know all of them. I only know a few.
That's true. Like, what do you know so far? What's the dirtiest thing from Disney that you know so far?
I mean, the first thing that comes up to my mind is The Little Mermaid. It's the one where, you see the golden dicks or whatever, or I don't know if they're dildos.
The 1990 cover where there's actually...
it's like a dick in the background,
yeah.
Or another part, when she was getting married to the prince, didn't the priest have a boner?
Dude, a major boner.
Yeah, he's like, man, I can't wait to tear that shit up.
Dude,
That's
I don't know,
what he was
Ariel's
thinking.
a hot redhead. Could you
know what? That Ariel was probably a little slut.
And then she was
Let's be real here.
So she doesn't say much,
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's a nice thing to say, but I'm just saying, like, you get this beautiful redhead. She doesn't really talk much, so,
Probably sucking too much dick.
Oh my God! I don't think there's dicks in the sea, man.
Hey, there's dicks everywhere.
Sea dicks. Oh man,
that ocean cock.
Do you think fish give blowjobs? Like, what do you think
maybe the blowfish?
Oh my God, that's a good one. If blowfish do not blow each other, then it's just a waste of time calling them that. More like, you blow it, fish. But yeah, that's dirty, man. I like it. I like it a lot. So Disney, everyone loves Disney. There's no doubt about that. We're not camping on Disney. I hope you guys know that. It's just that it's one of those things that people cannot help and stop and think about. Is like there's always a dark side to everything.
For sure, there's always two sides to everything.
And there's nothing like, I don't know why, there's nothing cooler than knowing that the most happiest place on the earth is sometimes the darkest place there is. And I'm not talking about child labors and like stuff that goes in the background or mascots, what they do on their off time. But it's more of like the actual history and some of the like, what the hell, like basically stuff that you can't get away with. Like people eventually spot it. So like your mermaid, obviously, the Mermaid movie definitely had some secrets there. And another one was, it's not the older one. It's more of the 2000 or millennium. Have you even seen that movie, Atlantis or whatever?
I've not seen that one.
It wasn't that popular, but it's definitely, I think, become a cult hit just because the characters there were actually pretty cool, and I guess there was more of a tough female audience there going on.
Like a strong female role.
Yeah, and there was two of them, so it was nice to see that. But at the time, most people didn't recognize that. But it was nice to know that that cartoon was ahead of its time, and there was nothing wrong with the movie. It was just the cover. I don't know if you've seen that cover, but so there's obviously a black gentleman in there. What is it? So yeah, there's a black gentleman in the cover, and he's in the very middle, and then you got the whole casting crew.
Isn't he off to the side, and there's like a submarine like in the background pointing a light to him?
He's like, he's both in the middle, and then the funny part is like, or the fucked up part I should say is that he's there's a submarine on top, and there's a light pointing at him. There's all these searchlights, but there's one specifically pointing at him,
at that character.
And the weird part is there's like, if you look at the way the structure of I guess you could say the structure of the side of the submarine, there's a bunch of K's on it.
It's
specifically
it's
three
engraved
Ks
into the submarine. KKK, triple K.
Yeah, and that was a big old like, what the fuck. So let me see if I can show you an image right now.
That's probably edited. Oh no, I see it. Never mind.
They probably extended the A right here, but look at that. You got these searchlights, right?
Yeah.
And then they specifically put on the black gentleman. You got the KKK right there on the side. Like, really? And I was just thinking, like, somebody had to see that.
No, for sure. And you know what? Like, I mean, we got to remember that these animators or whatever, they're people, and they want to leave these little Easter eggs. They're like, you know what? I'm going to fuck with this shit.
Well,
like,
what says Easter egg like KKK?
Well, you know what this racist motherfucker did? Like, he wanted to, like, engrave it. Like, you know what? Like, fuck. Like, I mean, there's some sick people out there, but you gotta remember, like, I mean, that's why they have all these little things, and if it's sexual, if it's racist, like, whatever it is, they want to leave a little bit of their personality in their work, like these animators. That's what I feel.
You really think there's people that really is like that, huh?
There's fucked up people in the world.
That is true, and we're one of them. So... yeah, so there's that. I mean, what's another controversy that we like?
I mean, there's so many. I mean, there's the Lion King too, with the whole whatever sex being spelled out when Simba
that one
down.
they actually everything else doesn't seem like you can argue about it, but this one they did. They said that for the Lion King one, it was actually SFX as in special effects. Here, we'll type it in, or go ahead and type it in. But
no, you know what? I'm actually gonna look up something else. It's actually the cover of the Lion King, and it looks like a girl's bottom.
Really?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I never heard of that one.
I recently heard of this one. So
oh shit, so this is brand new off the market knowledge you got right here.
It's like, it's not the cover, it's more of a promotional poster, but back in the day.
So you think it was probably subliminal for parents? So like dad's like, I don't want to take my shitty kids to the Lion King. Even though it's an amazing movie.
Oh shit.
But then like something about the cover, they're like, I don't know why, but I just want to go in that movie.
Enticed.
Let's see. We're trying to see if we can discover the woman's body. Oh,
you see it? Like, there's the eye.
That's
like,
an ass right there. Yeah, that's a booty, dude.
Yeah,
that ain't
the hair. Like,
that's big old nice booty right there.
And like, you could still see the lion shape, but you could also see like the female body, like the back of a woman.
I'm wondering if there's like everyone's dad's like, honey, we're gonna see this right now. But daddy, I want to see Barbie. No, we're gonna see the Lion King.
And what makes me laugh about this poster, you see the girl figure. And then it says on the bottom, the king has returned. Or turned to that ass.
Oh my god, dude. How did I not see that? Like, I remember someone talked about it, but... oh, man. Yeah, and look at that. Like, the top of it is the hair.
The arms. There's she's wearing an underwear. And, yeah.
So someone at Disney loved it doggy style or lion style, I guess. I mean, they do it doggy style too. I think lions. I don't know. I've seen the Discovery Channel here and there. I just figure everyone does doggy style if you're an animal.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know.
I've never seen. That's true.
You know, I mean, the only thing that doesn't make sense either is why In-N-Out Burger has animal style fries.
I was just about to mention
that. Is it just because the fries are on top of each other and then like the beautiful Thousand Island dressing and cheese is just like the jizz on top of it, or what?
Pretty much. Fucking orgy.
I think everyone should animal style everything.
So that's one that I recently came across. There's so many. Like I mean, and I'm basically going to the classics. At least the ones I grew up with, like Aladdin. Like I mean, I never really heard it in the actual movie.
The good teenagers have sex part.
Yeah, I've never caught it when I was little. I mean,
is that what he says though? Like good teenager something.
If you look it up, like when he's like shooing the tiger away or whatever, he's like, "Down, kitty," or whatever. Good teenagers take off their clothes. I think that's what he said. Good teenagers or good little girls take off their clothes, or some bullshit like that.
You just see some chicks in the movie theater just like, yeah. They're like, yeah, that's totally subliminal right there.
Seriously, and I never caught none of that stuff. I mean, but then again, I mean, I was young, I was dumb. There's so many things I didn't catch.
And you took off your clothes for some reason.
I know, out of nowhere, I just found myself without underwear. Like, what's going on?
I was just watching Aladdin, and then my pantalones, they just came off.
They just came off, and my dick got rock hard.
I was only 5. I wonder if, like, your parents was just, like, crying, like, he's gonna be a good man when he grows up.
There's so many things. There's just I'm trying to think of another Disney movie.
Oh, I know one. So, the two mouses, or mices, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound like a peasant to not pluralize the mouse. So, two mice when the rescuers.
Never saw that one.
But do you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
so they even made a sequel, which was badass, which was about them in Australia. But there was nothing subliminal about that or anything controversial. But the first one, I think it was made in the late 50s or 60s. So anyway, so you can tell that the animation's like really, really old. And this was when Disney focused on hand-style drawing.
Right.
And one of the scenes, because I guess like in order to save money and time, they would have repeatable backgrounds. And one of this was, I think they were on a seagull or pelican, whatever, and they're going down, like they're flying down, and in the background, if you look at it closely, it's supposed to be like the I guess French styled windows from France, obviously. But in one of those windows, there's an open cover, and I guess it repeats itself. Like I said, it's a budget thing, and you actually see a woman topless there. I don't know if you see her head, but there's a topless, and this is something that you cannot get away with. So right. I don't know if it's like back in the 50s or whenever this movie came out. You go to the movie theaters, you know, everyone's amazed that, oh my god, animation at this time was crazy. Like, we never had something like this before. Obviously, now for us, it's Pixar. We see Toy Story. We're freaking out. It looks amazing. So I think what happened was for these people, excuse me, I burped. So I think what happened was for these people, everything was happening so fast that no one saw that until, I guess, maybe it was discovered maybe last decade or so. Someone took the time to pause the video and see that there was this topless naked lady, and there is no way that this was something else. Like, clearly it's an image of a topless woman.
It was clearly
so it
some
wasn't
titties.
So it wasn't hidden like or like how Atlantis was or whatever, and you know how Little Mermaid had those little secret like poop. This one was like a good shot where they're going down and you see titties, and when you pause, it's like, dude, that's a titty. So yeah, you can pause on the boner and be like, oh, it could have been his foot or something. You can pause on the Lion King and be like, oh yeah, it's
a coincidence.
It's a coincidence that it looks like sex, but it's not. But this one, you straight out pause the video and you see some big old titties in the background. And I know titties. If you guys listen to the other episode, I talk about titties and dicks for some reason, but titties. It's titties. This is just straight out titties. There's nothing else.
And it goes back to my point that, like, you know, these animators just want to throw in something and they just want to have fun with it. They want to throw, like, little things, like, you know, little ideas or whatever the hell. I mean, I would fuck around with movies just for the hell of it if I was an animator. I would put something that's not too noticeable, But then it'd be kind of cool if someone noticed my work. They'd be like, "Oh shit, look what I found in this
but
movie."
why don't you just do something nice? I mean, it's for kids.
Well,
I mean,
of course, but I mean, you gotta think about it too.
Nice Easter
I mean,
eggs. I don't know why
not
they
too
do that.
perverted, but like you gotta make it somewhat relevant to adults, like somewhat entertaining.
Okay,
for
but
them.
if you want to make it relevant to adults, that's where Pixar comes in. They make it so that they get away with some dirty jokes. I can't think from the top of my head, but
Or
it's
a
subtle.
PG-13.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they made it subtle. But these guys, they just straight out put a titty, Eric. It's a titty. How do you explain to your kid like that's a titty?
Man, if there's no controversy, there's no fun.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
mean,
too
you
late
know,
for that
yeah.
cartoon. It's
It
too late
is.
for Atlantis. But that's the thing is like
You gotta remember too, back in the 50s, bro, that was a different time. You know what I mean? I mean, most people had to like grow up sooner, I would imagine, you know, at a certain age. So I mean, maybe seeing a titty wasn't so offensive for a kid, you know?
I guess, and I don't think there was anything wrong with sex because I think we as Americans focus on too much of violence. We really do, and
I mean,
and yet we're scared of sex when
right.
sex is awesome.
It's a
Titties
natural
and
thing, you know.
everything's-
Boobs, like tits, is a natural thing. It's part of a human body. It'd be a different story if you saw like maybe some like, you know, like the whole racist thing. I don't condone that, or maybe like some more grotesque. I don't know, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
anything
you know,
that involves killing or
right, or
shunning
any
other people.
exactly,
So,
yeah.
you know. And then I guess the biggest controversy of all is like the whole, you know, oh, Disney was a German person, he's a Nazi and all this. They froze his body and he's gonna rise again. You know, all that stupid stuff. And I'm just like,
I mean, there's
come
a
on, guys.
lot of theories and a lot of like, you know, but at the end of the day, I mean,
Because there was cartoons, but it goes for both Disney and Looney Tunes, where they, you know, at the time, and even and that's another great thing too is like even people that were all child based, they also had a different side, but it wasn't intentional. It was just a time period.
it
Dr.
is the era.
Seuss would make cartoons. Dr. Seuss, the man we know and love, would actually make racist cartoons about like the Asian people or or I guess Japanese people for World War II.
Yeah.
And it was one of those political cartoons. You can see that was his style.
It's all propaganda.
But
like,
yeah, that's
you know?
it. It was all propaganda. It was just because, you know, when you're an American, you're fighting this evil. And of course, the last thing in your mind back in the days was racism.
Comics. I mean, Stan Lee back in those days did all these superheroes like Captain America, all that stuff. Like, I mean, kind of like to escape what's going on in real life. Like, you know, people get distracted, not focusing on the war. I mean, if you really pay attention to some of those things, I mean, it is World War II related, especially Captain America with the Red Skull and all that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that was during that era. And,
But I'm saying, like, with Stan Lee, it wasn't too
it wasn't
straight out. Like, obviously, Hitler was there. He's a real person. But I guess...
like I said,
the
it was
other
more
ones-
to distract, like, the current generation. Like, listen, like, you
Which
know.
is why entertainment has
Yeah.
overcome the media, because what's better than distraction about wars and all that? Entertainment.
Right,
Why do you
and-
think
and
more
going
people talk
back-
about Kanye West than, like, what's going on the other side, you know? Because we're so involved in
Yeah,
entertainment.
I don't think we should focus too much on what the Kardashians are doing, but I mean, whatever. I mean, if that,
I think we should, because their asses are getting way too big, and I think it's causing global warming. Like, Jesus Christ, it's hot over here. It's bad enough
No,
you live
I
in the
hear you.
desert,
I
and
mean-
you got these big old booties. Like, don't get me wrong,
It's
I
nice.
like booties,
yeah,
but a little too much of a good thing is possible. You don't want too much of a good thing.
I love ass as much as the next person, but I don't think it's something that we should focus on. Like, I mean, it's great that we're getting distracted, but I think we should, like, you know,
We should still
It's always
know
the same
what,
thing, like-
what our responsibility is.
right.
as
Like,
well.
I don't want to hear about like all the time about Kardashians, Justin Bieber, all that stuff. What about our? This is going off topic, but what about our veterans? Like, you know, so or like, you know, our soldiers
Dude,
or
a lot of those guys are like super unappreciated. They went
Exactly.
through all this shit, and then like we focus on like so much money on weapons, and yet when it comes to like hospitals or just trying to get them back in track and have a regular life, we can't do that, and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous, dude.
it really is.
So that's another topic, I guess.
It really is another
But,
topic for another.
but I
episode.
guess it's like, you see what I mean? How sometimes the old corrupted Disney had led us to this and made us think, man. So you're thinking, but Buzzy, it's just Disney movies. There's nothing wrong, Sync BC. You're out of sync. No, my friends, you're out of sync. This is real topics that you got to understand.
Right.
That this is shit that happened. Damn
And
it.
going back to Disney, like I remember going back to the whole Nazi thing. I owned a VHS tape of a Donald Duck
Oh,
in
my
the
God.
Nazi, you know,
Uniform.
yeah, in the planes and everything. You know, I was little. I didn't know what that symbol meant. I didn't know.
I
what
didn't
that
know
was.
what Hitler was till South Park. And and that's the thing is like I didn't know what it was, and I remember Daffy Duck went through that phase too with the whole Hitler thing.
And I wonder if I would have kept that tape. I wonder if it would have been worth any money.
I don't know if it'd be worth any money because I think anything that's owned for Nazi propaganda is considered bad to have, even though it was just the cartoon mocking it. But obviously, you can still see it on YouTube. So if you guys get the chance, look at it on YouTube. I mean, it's not to offend you. It was a time period, and also. I don't think it was that bad. It was just like Donald just having a dream what would happen if he was a Nazi. Meanwhile, Daffy Duck, it was more like Daffy Duck versus Hitler. So it was a way like Daffy Duck was the hero because he would annoy the shit out of Hitler and Hitler would like be pissed off. So, so the thing was, even back then it wasn't bad and people would assume like, and of course I think the worst thing that the animators did back then was race. It was always race. I don't know if you remember.
And to that point, like, I think they were with Daffy Duck or whatever, mocking Hitler. I think it was more to like, defame him, like, you know what I mean, like get him like like, oh shit, like, we're gonna fuck with you whatever way we can.
And now it's even fucked up because we wanted to defame this guy, the biggest evil that ever existed in this planet or in our time, or or in the history of evilness. But it's just funny now. It's like Hitler. It's been so long now. Hitler's just like he's kind of like a joke, and he's kind of like okay to have now. You got like you got hipster Hitler now,
right? And
then you got Hitler as like. In like cartoons that like just happens to have Hitler in it, so it's just funny how things have changed
for us.
This guy to a puppet or like this comedic reason.
It's like that for us because we didn't grow up in that time era. I mean, we weren't alive back then. The most closest person that we could probably see to that is maybe like Osama bin Laden or Saddam Hussein. Like and there's South Park's made fun of both of them.
Oh, absolutely, and that's the thing too is like I wonder if like. Some people, because of like, and it isn't the entertainment's fault. It's just like you're saying, like it defames them. So we're not scared of this.
It shames them. Yeah, it shames them in their country. I'm pretty sure if like their people saw that, like it's like like they'd probably be pissed off because like really, like you're picturing me this way. Fuck you, America. That's probably what they're thinking.
Yeah, fuck you, America.
But you know what? We rock. We do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, we'll do whatever we want, and then especially if we live in Texas, like Eric, we do whatever the hell we want. Fuck, man.
That's true.
But, yeah, so Disney has definitely done some controversial things. Now, Disney has been really well. I don't think there's anything controversial. I mean, if anything, it's just controversial is coming from families who are really fucking bored with themselves.
And you never know, man. Like, I think
before you know it, their kids like crazy, too.
That's true. I mean, today's world is a little different, especially since we grew up, but... You never know. A couple of years from now, you might see something that somebody caught him frozen or something like that. Like, look at this ice dick in the background.
Dude, the only thing I care about Frozen is seeing some titties from Elsa. That girl's banging, dude. That girl's banging. So I don't want to care about any controversial unless there was just her being naked. But you know what? We live in the internet world. You can just type it in online and just you get what you want. So thank you, internet. Thank you for letting me live the life I love. But yeah, I'm just saying it's easier now. But it's like,
for sure.
Now it's like if you don't really need controversy, someone will draw it for you. They're called commissions, but it's another topic. But you got Disney that's been the powerhouse of cartoons, animation, even theme parks. And another thing too is like DreamWorks obviously exists. Have I told you why DreamWorks kind of exists? There's a long story to it.
You know what? I really don't know this story.
Let's see. I'm gonna do the best I can, but just know that DreamWorks. I think some. Okay, so DreamWorks obviously is owned by Steven Spielberg. He, of course, did that because he's a rich man, and he just wanted to do something at his own terms and all that. So he did DreamWorks, and I remember there was GameWorks. If you guys are familiar with Dave and Buster's, there's another place similar to that, and that's GameWorks.
I've heard of GameWorks.
So that was actually from Steven Spielberg. He did that, but unfortunately it didn't do so successful. So it's very rare if you see one. So it's basically just like the alternate or the Sega version of Dave and Buster's. So he had that for a while. And of course, with DreamWorks, he was allowed to fund more animation to make his own terms of like, anything movies and of course animation related. So if you guys are listening to this and you already know the history of DreamWorks, I'd like to apologize beforehand for not doing my research on this, but just know that I think it started off because there's a guy that was working at Disney. He got fired because of his style or his attitude of his cartoons. Like he was more of like the rebel type.
Right.
So then I guess like he was really into animation, but he wanted to still do something for family or do a twist and turn or I think what happened was he was shunned by Disney, and I guess he was so upset or so angry about Disney, he somehow got the job from DreamWorks. So he did his own spin-off about, the whole Disney good fairy tale, live life in harmony thing. And he wanted to go, anything that Disney stand for, he wanted to go against it. So I don't know the gentleman's name, but what happened is he eventually led up to Shrek. And we know Shrek is definitely anti-Disney.
Right, yeah.
It's everything that...
It's the monster, getting the happy ending or whatever the hell. Like,
yeah.
not
and even then, and that wasn't really the intention. It was just that his intention was that we're going to do stuff that Disney wouldn't do because I guess, and I guess he just had this hatred for Disney. So he did...
Probably the dude drawing the pics in the background.
And he's like, you know what? If you don't want my dicks in your movies, I'll find another movie to do so. So that's what happened. So that's how DreamWorks came to be. So then we had these like other shitty movies that came out that were like whatever. You got Shark's Tale, where the fish had the biggest lips, and they really did look like Will Smith. And I was just like, and the humor was just like whatever. But that's the thing is like every DreamWorks movie was attitude. We were against Disney. We were badass motherfuckers. That's what DreamWorks wanted to be, and they did well. They've proven to be amazing, and then of course, now DreamWorks has suddenly trying to put heart in their movies. They're trying to become like Disney, but in still their DreamWorks way. So,
in their own terms, pretty much.
And the movie that proved that was How to Train Your Dragon. Have you seen that?
I have not.
That movie's so good. You would kind of think it could be a Disney movie because it's wholesome. It still has a good amount of action. It still has a great amount of, like, overall it has heart. And that was something that, like, when I first saw that movie, you see Kung Fu Panda, you see all these, like, hardcore comedic, PG movies, and then you get this one out of nowhere, and you're like, holy shit, this had the potential to win an award. Fortunately, they lost because you know who won?
I think I do.
Toy Story 3, baby. It's hard to compete with Pixar, who is associated with Disney, who is whooping ass in every movie they've done, with the exception of Cars, have done just phenomenally well. Now, Cars is probably the only movie I don't care for.
It's whatever.
But it still made money, obviously. Yeah. But that's the thing is that Pixar is whooping ass in animation.
And there's got to be more competition. I mean, it can't just all be Disney. I mean, they have to have these companies competing.
Well, you got
that's the only
Sony Pictures,
right, exactly. Yeah. You got to have them to be good, to be better. You're always in competition. If you're the only choice, it's like whatever. You're setting you're the only choice. But if you have all these, you have DreamWorks, you have Sony, you can set the bar for these other companies.
And that's why you got these like franchises that did well and they're extending it. So like Sony has Ice Age, Rio, and that's it so far. I mean, like I know there's probably other stuff, but that's a start. It's a start.
Those are the known ones, but I mean, you can't say like, oh, those are shitty movies. They're up there. Absolutely. If you think of kids' movies, besides all the Disney classics, you still think of those. You think of Ice Age. You think of Rio 2, whatever the hell. You think of the DreamWorks one, you think of all these movies. You think Shrek. You think a lot.
So now it's like it's nice to see these companies compete for families' affection and box office rather than trying to make something controversial as it is. Because I don't think I've ever heard much controversy. Like mostly it was just Disney. Disney was the only like rocking in the animation studios, and then of course, in movies at least, there was other cartoons as well. But that's the thing is like now you got these movie studios that do so well in just making sure that these movies come up because they take like 3 years to make, and it's just a lot
of work and a lot of effort. There's a lot of people involved, and it's talent, man. Like it's everything being put together to create in a way a masterpiece. These stories are sometimes they wow me. It's like dang.
They do. Like what is your favorite Disney movie?
Oh man,
we're talking about all these like dicks in Disney and boners in Disney, but we never talked about what was our
like
favorite
the wholesome movie. like what we like about it. Man, there's so many.
So we're gonna leave Disney alone. We're not gonna talk shit about it too much, but we just wanted to point out that there's always a bad side to every good side. So I'm a good person too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm obviously not the best person. But there's nothing wrong with letting
we're human.
We're not perfect. We're not.
Yeah, exactly. We're not perfect. So as far as my favorite Disney movie, it's very hard to pick because they have so many good ones. I like Hercules a lot.
Awesome movie.
I like
no controversial there. I think.
I don't think so. There
like,
probably is, but I mean, we don't know. I mean, shoot. There's so many. What about you?
For me, is Mulan. I don't know what
I
it is
love
about
Mulan
Mulan.
also.
Everything was just so good, and then like the main character, it's just a tough lady. I don't know what it is. I just love tough, pretty ladies. Maybe I always have mad respect for Rhonda for that reason too. I don't care if she ever loses. I still have mad respect for her. But she's a tough lady with Mulan, and even though that's not Disney, is that they'll get their movies and kind of twist and turn about it, like Pocahontas.
Right.
Apparently, she's like 14 years old
or 12.
Yeah,
in
or
real
something
life.
like that. And then
And
you
in
got
the
John
real
Smith.
story,
Yeah, but it's funny because when we grew up, like that's how I always pictured it was always based on Disney cartoons. It was never what my teachers taught me. It was always what Disney taught me. So
in a way, it's a good visualization instead of you reading on it, especially if you're a kid. It's great to like see it unfold before your eyes.
yeah, but it's just like I always thought, okay, well, Pocahontas, where's the raccoon and where's that? I'm like, this is bullshit. You're gonna tell me I'm gonna watch this fucking movie and not see that, or like the adaptations or other non-Disney.
You're reading the story. This bitch was way older than 12.
Yeah, and then when you hear about Hercules, and then you find out that his dad or who's a god,
Zeus.
right? And then you fuck like a bunch of bitches too and all that.
Yeah, in Greek mythology, Hercules is a demigod. He's half god.
Yeah.
Because Zeus banged a female human, obviously. And I mean, he wasn't the son of Zeus and Hera. Hera was actually like in Greek. I was really big into Greek mythology when I was younger. She was one of those bad gods that was always against, all these. I don't know how to say it, but like they weren't getting along because Zeus is banging all these bitches, so she's not happy.
He partied like a god.
Yeah, he did. He partied like a rock star. There was all these gods that's the way they explained shit. Like, you had Apollo, the god of the sun. You had Ares, the god of war. You had Athena, the god of wisdom. Like, there's just Aphrodite, the goddess of love. There's just so many.
I always forget that like Aphrodite is like, I think that's where like they get the Latin term or whatever term, the whole Aphrodite. And then you have Aphrodite. So I wonder if like the whole penis and having a vagina thing is like, that's love right there. So you can love yourself and go or something. I don't know. But I'm sorry. I just always thought about Herman, how it came out. So, but you see what I mean? Like the Disney made it seem like the way it was supposed to be. Because we were a kid, we watched it, and that was set in stone.
They have to, tone it down for their audience, their target audience, which is kids.
Which I'm surprised they never made one about like Christopher Columbus and how he like raped the Indians and all that. Like it could have been like his best friend was a rock, imaginary rock.
The closest thing, and I don't even know who did El Dorado. Was that DreamWorks?
That's DreamWorks. Yeah.
Okay.
DreamWorks.
I was gonna say
which is
that's
a good one too.
Yeah, that's the closest thing to Christopher Columbus I could say. But I remember when I was watching that movie, and I saw it recently for the first time actually. I was like, damn, this is kind of like there's a lot of adult things in this movie.
Things.
Yeah,
the girl was banging too.
I know.
Oh
That's
God.
what I was thinking the whole time.
Rosie Perez knows how to rock that character. Like, holy crap.
And you even see it.
And
like,
the sad part is, like, in the history, it's like, oh yeah, she's like 11. I'm like, what the fuck? Do that, you fucking assholes. Make you look like a fucking pervert and fucking pedophile and shit. Like, thanks for making no sense in the cartoons. It's like, why would you give a 12-year-old tits? That's not nice. That's false advertisement, and it's
and
wrong.
a body like that, like curved.
Just saying, like, that's how they made this look like. They looked like she was like a 20-year-old chick that was like ahead of her, leader of the tribe. But yet that's not the true story. So it's like, oh shit. And I'm guessing Lion King's not about lions. It's probably about seahorses and shit.
Well, that one they just probably pulled it out of their ass. I'm pretty sure. There's nothing historic about Lion King.
Well, they took it from Macbeth, wasn't it? The whole story idea of Macbeth, or no, not Macbeth.
No.
Hamlet, that's what.
Really? The Lion King?
Yeah, did you not know about that? It's actually inspired from Hamlet.
How is it inspired from Hamlet?
Because,
I want to hear
this. The dad's the king, and then the uncle, like, poisons the dad. Or, no, like, kills the dad, and then you find out that the son comes back to take what's rightfully his. Like, I guess he just...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's the whole point. Was
not literally
I don't think he got
lions.
killed the same way where Hamlet's like, long live the Hamlet, and then falls off of a cliff, but I'm saying, like... The whole idea was inspired like that.
And going back to Disney stuff like that, I mean, and this is a show, but I wish they would make something more of it. Gargoyles has a lot of historical references, and a little bit more accurate, and a lot of like Shakespeare stuff as well.
I know we talked about cartoons before, but that's another thing too with Disney cartoons. Some of the stuff they did was I know Gargoyles was one of them where it's like. I think I mentioned this before, but a lot of shit I was stupid. I didn't understand it, but now I look back at it, it's like, wow, this was ahead of its time, and this was
It
smart.
really was.
So
The vocabulary, like they didn't really tone it down, like the historical things. Like I was actually doing a little bit of research, maybe like a year back or whatever, and I was just reading a bunch of stuff, and like I was like, damn, this is actually somewhat accurate. I mean, obviously the gargoyles weren't real, but like I mean, some of the characters were real. Like some of the kings they showed on there. I mean, it was like
they did their research.
Yeah, they did their
just
research.
Like, hey, let's make this wacky
and
cartoon and do it.
the person who created the show, Greg Weisman, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name, somewhere around that ballpark. He was an English professor, so I mean, he really did his research. The vocabulary is very high, very articulate. Like it's a really great show.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because Gargoyles was very dark for a Disney show.
It was like it wasn't it.
Like I couldn't believe that was on Disney. That should have been. I mean, I honestly I don't know if Nickelodeon would pick it up because actually it could because Nickelodeon was famous for the whole like Are You Afraid of the Dark and and then I don't know about
Real
Goosebumps. I think
Monsters.
Goosebumps was like with Fox Kids.
It was.
But that's the thing is like how did Disney get something that was like this gothic and dark and it works so well.
Right, and you probably know. I mean, when I saw this, I was back in, I believe, first grade or kindergarten. It was back in 1993. Buena Vista, was that always part of Disney?
I think it was part of Disney and any
Or did
big
Disney
company.
buy them out?
It could have been that too. I just know they were famous for video distribution.
Yeah.
So, because I could have sworn that like other cartoons as well, when I bought them on VHS, that was part of the ending was that Buena Vista like
Buena
logo.
Vista, yeah.
So, what is that?
Well, because Gargoyles is Buena Vista, like, you know, but now obviously Disney owns them. But I never knew if it originally was them and then they bought them out, you know, because I mean it was pretty dark for a Disney, you know what I mean? So I figure they probably bought that company out, which was Gargoyles then, and I don't know.
You know, that show in general, like, I don't know if you're aware of all the Disney reboots that's happening, right? Of all the movies. You got
Right.
Maleficent, which it was obviously its own spin-off of
Sleeping Beauty.
and it was dark.
Yeah.
And then I think Disney did the whole, like, Alice in Wonderland, which is actually the sequel, so it should have been called Looking Through the Glass or whatever that sequel's called.
Yeah, looking.
It was
through
lame, but I guess it's supposed to be dark. And then now you got Cinderella, which is a live version of, you know, obviously Cinderella. And I was thinking, like, you know, Disney is doing a good job doing these, like, remakes. And I guess Maleficent did well. Cinderella did very well. And I was thinking, you know what? Like, Disney's got this big budget. They're on a roll right now because they own Marvel. And they own Star Wars.
Right.
And, oh, my God. That's another topic because there's so much good shit happening about that I need to talk to you about after
For sure.
the show.
That could be, like, you know, one of our other episodes for sure.
Yeah, because there's just tons of good shit right
We
there.
could just go on and on.
But that's the thing is that Disney is a powerhouse right now, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm talking about like Disney is making sure that all the good shit that we ever love in life, it's like, here you go, they're getting it ready. So I don't even care if there's a lot of subliminal dick in the back. I'm just glad of what Disney's doing and how it's being done.
Right.
And I don't know if it's like the head honcho because I know. Have you ever heard of the Disney owner? I think his name was Eisner or something like that. Which I'm going to bring him up in a bit because there's a Disney ride I want to talk about that I learned about that I've never heard about, and it's amazing. I wish I got to ride it, but it's just cool that Disney has these like abilities to make these Marvel movies, which are starting to get dark. And then you're going to have the Star Wars movie, which I wouldn't say it's dark, but it's definitely current and it's more gritty. But I wouldn't say like super gritty, but it's getting there, or it could be up there. But another thing too is why doesn't, and this is for you Disney, so if you're a Disney employee and you want to spread the word, or even you guys if you're listening, here's a good idea. Why don't you do a Gargoyles live action movie? Don't you think we deserve something dark from Disney that's actually like good enough to do? I mean, don't you think they can pull it off with all the CGI power we got?
I think they can. I don't know if they would pull off right. That's my concern.
What do you mean? Like, do you think they're gonna get like writers that don't know shit? That
I mean, if they get the original, like, you know, writers, I mean, I think it would be great. The only thing is, I don't know if they can do a live action of that movie.
Original actors, you can just have the original actor do the voice.
No, I mean like the people that made the story. You know, if they get the people like, you know, Greg Weisman and all that stuff.
Look at Star Wars. They got J.J. Abrams, who obviously
That's true.
who obviously like that's the thing is finding the right person to do it. If they can find someone who
Right.
can do it right, then you should be fine. I mean, they got this
My
guy
concern,
who did Star Trek for crying out loud, and now he's doing Star Wars.
it's just that they don't butcher it. That's just my
Yeah.
concern.
So that's the thing. I don't. You know, it's just finding the right person for the job.
True.
But just think about it: a live action Gargoyles movie. I know everyone's gonna do these live action. I guess the next live action one is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. But I'm thinking, like, dude, imagine we had Gargoyles. Imagine the tone
And,
and the PG-13 that Disney
right.
could be writing right there. Like,
And for sure, it would be popular because even to this day, there's a thing, an event that goes on every once in a while called Gathering of the the Gathering of the Gargoyles.
like
it's
the
basically
Juggalos, you mean?
Yeah. No, not the Juggalos.
I was
but,
like, what?
They call it the Gathering because in the show, if you ever followed, like, Shakespeare and all that stuff, if you heard of Midsummer Night's Dream,
Yeah.
there's Oberon, Queen Titania, all that stuff. They're calling their children back to Avalon, and it's called the Gathering. So these hardcore Gargoyle fans made a convention called the Gathering.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
You mean like people cosplayed and all that shit?
Yeah, they cosplay.
Man,
They
why you tell me about this? We could have had you cosplay.
Keith David, the voice of Goliath,
Yeah, he's
goes
the
to
man.
it. Pretty awesome. And all these voice actors as well. And it's still big even today, which is, I mean, Gargoyles has been, like, on TV for years. So, I mean, for sure it would be popular.
And this was a convention exclusively for Gargoyles.
Yeah, exclusively
Holy
for Gargoyles.
shit. I did not know that. That's amazing. Like, what the fuck, Eric? We could have been there.
I mean, it's in different places across the United States randomly, so.
Well, there you go. So if you guys are a fan of that convention, hey, let's try to pitch a Gargoyle movie. I know Hollywood's always looking for something new, and I think they need to go in that direction.
And there's even a lot of fan fiction, too. Yeah,
It's
exactly. But it's not bad.
Oh, I know it's
actually
not bad. It's just that
Like,
when it's just for me, the term fan fiction is usually the dirty. I'm
Yeah.
talking about dirtier than
Well,
Disney
not
type
even
fan
that though.
fiction.
Like I don't know how to say it. Like, because it's technically it's not
like
fan
their own
fiction.
spin-off version
It's
of what
like
happened.
continuation from the same writers, actually. So it just was never animated.
Did Gargoyles ever get their own comics? I mean,
They
I'm pretty
had
sure
comics.
that's a good way to establish people to get I guess closure on the Gargoyles
Right.
univoice.
They actually had
Voice.
comics. It's a dark show.
That's pretty cool. I just surprised Disney did that. Nickelodeon has its share of dark shows, and right now the darkest thing that Disney has I wouldn't say it's super dark, but it's kind of weird that Disney would allow some conspiracies is the show Gravity Falls, and I think I mentioned that before. And I'm not sure if I did, but if so, Gravity Falls is a good one where the humor is great. It's not technically random every time. It's always a story, but overall, it's basically the whole living in the woods, Bigfoot, Illuminati type of deal. Like it's just dark conspiracies, and usually I'm
Wow.
like, that's funny for Disney to have something like that. But they do it so well that it can pull off as a Disney show. But I'm saying like that's probably the next darkest thing that Disney has to offer so far.
Yeah, and speaking of Illuminati, they're also in Gargoyles.
Really?
Yep.
You see what I mean? And usually that's something you don't want kids to ever question or whatever.
Yeah, and back then I didn't know what that was. I'm like, what the hell's the Illuminati Society? But they're in Gargoyles, secret society. They have the little pyramid thing with the eye, all that
see?
stuff.
I mean, we always
it's all
thought of
in
it
there.
as an organization, but
Yeah.
now we understand that Illuminati is like this greater power.
Right.
And I'm just
And,
thinking whoa, you don't want to do that in a Disney and confuse families now. So.
And in the show, the detective that partners with Elisa, which is the main girl, the gargoyle, the friends of the gargoyle, he's trying to expose them. And Xanatos is actually part of the Illuminati
Really?
in the show, yeah. When he travels back in time, he's wearing his little emblem. And I guess apparently this society is so old that it's back before the 700 AD or whatever.
Yeah, which explains in Assassin's Creed, they kind of make that whole reference about this greater power, and I'm pretty sure it's Illuminati, but they call it something else. But
in Gargoyles, they called it back then when they traveled in time Illuminatus or Illuminatus, or something like that.
like Latin spin-off that they're trying to do.
Illuminatus.
That makes sense. That's crazy. You can never go wrong with that whole mysterious.
There's rich.
It's interesting.
Storyline. I mean, they have that. They have, like I said, a lot of characters from, Oberon, a lot of these mythology. Odin's in it, for God's sakes. There's just so many.
Does he fuck bitches like Zeus or what?
No, I mean they travel to Norway. This is part of the world tour where they're just basically Avalon sending them to different parts of the world to fix shit.
Wow.
Goliath and Elisa and his daughter, and they meet Odin in Norway, and Goliath has Odin's eye. It's a jewel. He basically meets him up. He wants his eye back, but he didn't know it was Odin. So Goliath uses it. They fight each other, blah blah. And then he takes the eye, and he even says like the names of his horse. Do you know what Odin's horse is called?
No,
it's Spets. I'm butchering the name, so I apologize.
Spitz.
It's Spetnia or Spetnia, something like that.
What does that even mean? Or
I don't know what it means. It probably means something, but that's the name of Odin's horse.
Probably means big long Johnson. Or,
Like
or hung like a horse.
Thick ass Norwegian dick.
So I guess the last part. So since we're getting close to wrapping up, I think this is all dark Disney. I think that's the episode right there, dark Disney.
I think we mentioned the controversies. We mentioned what we like. We mentioned a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and I think I guess what I wanted to bring up, and I think what I was saying is there's this guy, like, I don't know who's in charge of Disney now, but there was a time in the 90s where I guess Disney, like, I don't know, there was big people criticizing this guy named Eisner, who was running Disney, and I guess, I don't know, during his time, the cartoons or whatever content was out, or even like in the theme parks, it was considered okay. Some people call him just a nice, innovative guy. Some people have said that he's like one of the worst owners that Disney's ever had.
Jeez.
It goes back and forth. I don't know what it is. There's more to it. But I read an interesting article about one thing he did that was probably one of the coolest, darkest things he's ever done for Disney. So, have you ever had the pleasure of going to Disneyland?
I have not.
Okay. But you've been to theme parks. I know you're not a big fan of rides or anything like that. So, I know you're afraid of heights.
Right.
So for this ride, the nice thing about Disney in general, so you guys are listening, obviously you've been to Disney, most of you have at least, but just know Disney is more like eye candy. You get on a ride, things move, but it's never really about heights or anything like that. Maybe Disney has maybe about overall 6 rides that can be kind of extreme in heights or anything like that, but it's nothing too crazy like Six Flags. It's kind of like hand to hand with Universal Studios. It's all eye candy, and it's more of like the experience and more of being immersed in this new world of whatever ride you're on or theme it is. So anyway, Eisner, and I guess what happened was this was original, and I think this was only in Florida. That's the bad part. Was like it was only in Florida. So this ride, I forgot what it was originally called, but it was like a history ride or something like that. It was something to do, not the presidential ones, which is a famous thing in Disney, but it was something about learning about historical whatever, and it was a lame ride. So Eisner would actually take his son on every theme park ride and tell him, what do you think of the ride? If he liked it, they kept it. If he hated it, they changed it. So this one ride, and it lasted for a good 12 years, I believe, for Disneyland in Florida. So what happens is...
Disney World.
Or Disney World, I'm sorry, there we go. Yeah, because Disneyland's in California. We're not that cool enough to get the world. So in Disney World, there is this ride where you basically... Disney always has like an entry thing where it's always like a video presentation to get you hyped up and to make you feel like you're in this world.
Right.
So basically what happens is, I think it's called extraterrestrial, or terrestrial as in terror.
Oh, okay.
So terrestrial. So it was, or they call it XS for short. And what happens was, in this ride, you get these robots who are actually gonna, they discuss with you that, hey, guess what, guys, you're part of this new science experimental teleport device that we just created. It's awesome. We can teleport anything you want in this tube. It's going to be the greatest thing in the future, and everything's like based on the future. So you have these robots. I think they had like a popular voice.
Is it the Tomorrowland or whatever?
I want to say it was located in Tomorrowland because it has that look of like old futuristic robot type of thing. And so anyway, you get in there, and after you're done with the pre-introduction of what you're about to experience. So what happens is, it's like a circular design. The whole arena is like in a circle. You sit down, and you have these seats that lock over your head, and they're just these giant hinges that lock over you. It's not a giant ride, so there's nothing like that's going to dip you like crazy. So it's a round arena, and right in the middle, there's this big tube that sticks out. And what happens is, that's the experimentation where they're going to teleport another life form in there, just to prove that, hey, with this technology, we can teleport anything we want. It's just for fun. No biggie. It's the future. We got this under control. Well, what happens is, during the experiment, something goes wrong. And this is where it's one of those things where, like, you can't believe that Eisner had the balls to make a ride like this exist. Eisner apparently is a big fan of Aliens. You've seen those movies, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember seeing those movies as a kid, but from what I hear, they're freaking gruesome and they're very terrifying. And at that time, people were, like, really scared of aliens because it's just this greedy, nasty, practical effects
Right.
of being real. And, like, if aliens were to be scared, if you were to be feared of any alien, it would be aliens from you know, the movie Alien. So he was a big fan. And for some reason, he convinced Disney or, like, his employees, like, you know what, we need something like this. We need something like this in our parks. So what happens is you're in this ride. The experiment goes wrong, and they accidentally teleport an extraterrestrial that was not part of their assignment. So what happens is you're locked down in this, like, seat. You know, you can't go anywhere, and they're telling you to calm down. You see smoke come out of the tube and all that, and the lights go off. And apparently you see this alien life form come out, and it looks so good. It looks like the movie Aliens, but it kind of looked like Metroid from that Nintendo game.
Okay.
So it was really, really scary for a Disney ride. And there was a lot of people that read this article and responded to it and said that we remember that ride. That ride scarred us for life. A Disney ride. It's bad enough that you go to the Toad ride, like the Toad ride, yeah, where it's like an old classic buggy cars,
Right.
And apparently there's a reference where you go to hell, but the hell's all cartoony. It's not scary,
Right.
but it's one of those like, whoa, that's dark. Ooh, Disney. No. This was aliens in a Disney ride. The alien comes out of the tube, and you see these glowing eyes. And the thing about Disney is they have amazing animatronics, so it scared the shit out of people who were
Right.
kids. It's breaking through the glass, and then all of a sudden you see the glass broken, and you don't know where the alien is. So you're in this dark room. They even warn you before getting the ride that if you're young or under 12, do not get on this ride. But of course, parents are shitty, so they bring their kids
Right.
anyway, and all these kids are freaking out. You're stuck in this ride, and they have
Now this
What?
ride I can handle.
yeah. So this ride you can handle, but I'm not sure if you're saying, but it will
Oh, hell
freak
no.
you
Well-
right the fuck out.
No, I'll be fine.
You got water effects on you. You get these weird noises coming around, so you make it. So the ride is to make you experience an alien attack, where you're stuck in this ride, and all you feel is like trembling and water on your neck and breathing noises and screeching. And the thing is, maybe now not so scary, but think about it. You're a kid and you're experiencing this ride.
Well,
and
if
it's
I'm
just-
a kid, yeah, I'm
so
gonna probably shit my pants.
this ride lasted for like 12 years. It was the scariest fucking thing that Disney ever did as a ride. And it was the coolest thing ever. But the sad thing is, they closed it down, I think, in 2002 or 2003. Yeah, and then now it's replaced by Lilo and Stitch, or like Stitch Getaway. So they actually have the same park right there in the same tube, except it's now Stitch in the tube. And I guess it's based on the movie where he's on the tube and he's locked up there and he's trying to escape. So obviously they watered it down. There's nothing wrong with Stitch. Lilo and Stitch is cute. But I'm like, from that, coming from this alien fucking
Right.
ride, which was probably the coolest thing ever. Like, this should have been Universal Studios that did it. But no, Disney did it. And Eisner, say what you want about this guy, but he had enough balls to
do
make
it.
a ride that was this fucking scary. So I think that's one of the greatest things I think that Disney has ever done that's so dark, is make this alien ride. And my only regret is I never got a chance to experience that.
I wish I would have experienced it too.
And that's like, yeah, and there's just something about animatronics that scares the shit out of me, but
I know. I mean, think of Jurassic Park.
oh god. And even their like CGI was pretty scary. It was actually really good for its time too.
I know.
Fuck, man,
What was it?
scary.
90 what? When the first one came
dude,
out?
91 at least.
Yeah.
91 at least, yeah. Fuck, man. Well, so yeah, man, that's our episode of
Yeah.
Dark Disney. I mean, anything you want to tell the audience?
I mean, no. I mean, that's pretty much a wrap. I mean, we could continue on about Disney and all this stuff, but I mean, we got a window.
So if you guys know anything else about the dark thing that Disney's ever done, or you just want to like make a shout out about something that Disney's done that obviously we're not capping on Disney. We love Disney. It's just we wanted to point out some of the cool darker things or some of the messed up things that's happened in the past. But yeah, and I mean, feel free to leave comments below, and just share our video if you guys can. So I'm Cancer. I'm here with Capricorn. So we'll see you in the next episode.
All right, we're out.
Peace out, Disney.